regular as well. So kindly look into this kung magkano binayaran ninyo. And furthermore, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary, we found out yesterday that the importer of AVAC vaccine violated the monitored release registration. Bakit? Because the imported doses should only be strictly to be used for clinical trial. And yet, they were found by FDA inspectors that they have been commercially selling this product. May report of violation po since 2023-2024. Hindi sila dapat magbenta ng AVAC vaccine because the importation is solely confined to clinical trial. Hindi ka pwede magbenta because monitored release ang CPR na inisyo sa kanila. The CPR is not for commercial use, and yet they have been selling the vaccine in the commercial market. So I directed the head of the legal department of FDA to give us an update on the status of the investigation on this report of violation, Mr. Chairman. So I hope, Mr. Secretary, you could look into this, discuss the matter with the new Director General, Attorney Teston. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. On the part of this committee, we will also take note and, of course, refer all the data as well as, of course, accusation ba yan? That have been brought out in this particular meeting. So now we go to the next, hopefully not yet. Strengthen the institutional capacity of DA Bureau ABAI and to fully execute its mandate. Wala ka pang IRR, no? Okay, so understandably. And now on request the Department of Finance undertake a comprehensive study of the potential impact of exempting farm implements. The decision of the committee is to recommend to the DOF to exempt farm implements from value-added tax, whether imported or domestically manufactured. Is anybody here from the DOF? BIR? So in a meeting of the committee heads, the decision of the committee is to recommend to the DOF to exempt farm implements from value-added tax. Okay? Number 2. Next. Enjoin the DOF and the BOC to conduct final study to assess the implementation of mandatory pre-shipment inspection. Kaya pa ba to, Jet? SGS? Is it still being used abroad? Is anybody using SGS pa ba?
Mr. Chair, there are still, at least for the Bureau of Customs, we're using them for bulk and break bulk cargoes. For pre-shipment inspection.
Generally for agricultural products, do you use SGS?
If it's in bulk and break bulk, yes, Mr. Chair, we still use SGS and other locators. And I believe Indonesia also uses them for their own pre-shipment inspection. Of course, under the condition
as
that...
a universe of agricultural products, do you use SGS?
For some testing, Mr. Chair, because we don't have our laboratory, and if DA is incapable of some tests, then we engage SGS for some laboratory testing also.
So, institutionalized pre-shipment inspection protocols through enhanced accreditation, limit mechanically deboned meat and reinforce border biosecurity to prevent smuggling and disease entry in livestock, poultry, and dairy industries. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Is this a policy of the DA?
Most of it is the policy of the DA, sir.
Which one is not the policy of the DA?
Can you again?
Okay, it's there, sir.
Yung limit mechanically deboned meat importation, that I do
It's
not.
not a policy.
I do not agree with that, sir.
So you don't agree with that. So we'll take that out. What's the reason?
We don't produce mechanically deboned meat, Mr. Chair, in the Philippines. Only countries wherein they prefer the breast meat of the chicken, ano? And
So ito yung sobra-sobra.
yun yung kasi it's mechanized na, so technically marami natitira.
So
and
the
that's the
reason-
cheapest source of meat
So
for
that's-
our processed products.
Cheapest source of protein.
Yes, sir. For our processed meat products or
Does anybody disagree with that? There being none, so we will take that off. Miss, paki-erase nung limit yung mechanically deboned meat because it is a cheap source of protein. Okay. Meron pa ba? Okay, last. Meron pang isa dito Enjoin the DA Bureau BPI to study discrepancy between farm gate and retail prices in order to resolve inefficiencies within the agricultural value chain. Ginagawa niyo ba to? Yes,
Mr. Chair, yes, we are doing all 60 commodities ng agriculture. We are doing we have almost 20 already. Then lahat uubusin namin para makita talaga yung buong value chain and all the costs and all the players, all the levels, Mr. Chair.
Ano yan? Does it fall under the word research?
No, it's I call it cost accounting, sir.
Cost accounting. Baka mapagalitan ka ni Mama Bear. So, yung last na is develop an extensive credit access strategy for farmers and fisher folks, including targeted awareness campaigns, capacity building programs. The decision of the committee to increase the penalty for non-compliance with a 20% exposure to agriculture by tripling the penalty from 0.5% to 1.5%. So I hope it will work. If tripling it, right now they're paying about 2 billion. So this will cost our banks 6 billion if they do not lend to agriculture. Since the definition of agriculture has been expanded to include water or AFMRD, so I think that was the consensus of the committee in the executive session. So at this point, I think we have virtually completed the committee, the preliminary findings of the committee, which will be submitted to the plenary before it becomes a complete committee report. And the committee report is actually this thick, this one, but what we've shown in you is this one. So at this point, I think this is the proper place for anyone who has something to say about Philippine agriculture, food security, hunger, and everything. So before we adjourn this, finally, is there anyone who wishes to raise any issue that may require further study by Congress in by the 20th Congress?
Mr. Chair, I would.
You have. Okay, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to ask the good secretary, with all the recommendations of this committee. I know that the budget of the DA is always